is doing very well is Nestle India. Manav Chopra, do you want to comment on this stock? It's not usually a stock that we talk about in trading parlance, but it's done very well today, as also the last few days.
Yes, in fact, the stock has been in a very good cyclical uptrend, and if you're looking at the charts, since last couple of weeks or sideways consolidation, the prices have seen a very strong breakout on the upside. One thing, this stock ideally is not to be used for trading perspective because we don't see a very sharp move and a momentum rally, but eventually the stock has been a bellwether in such a scenario. Looking at the overall structure, I think, the stock is still very much poised to see some more upside into this, which will eventually happen in next few months. But keeping the whole scenario and the breakout from its pattern, I think one can still expect another 10 to 15% upside from the current zone. On the lower side, we do see a strong support, which is coming around 12,100 to 12,200 odd. So given an opportunity, if someone wants to buy even on the dips, can definitely consider that. The overall trend is still intact and is quite bullish.
All right, that's a stock that's active in today's session, and we're going to focus more on that. The Maggi makers managed to deliver a really good set of numbers in the first quarter. They've also increased on their margins, and they recently had an analyst meet. Agam, he's joining by right now.
Well, let's try and get in closing strategies. I must say autos and select banks are holding out well as we speak. By well, I mean relatively well, because you don't have Kotak or HDFC Bank, for example, in the red. Maruti, Eicher and Hero MotoCorp are in the green. Bajaj Auto is in the green. So there are some stocks which are holding out in trade. What is an apt strategy at the current point of time? Manav, perched around this 10,900 mark, what's the top closing strategy that you have? It could well be an index call, by the way.
See, at the current levels, yes, at the current zone, we've seen, auto as a pack been showing some sort of a positive momentum, and also when I'm looking at the world markets, they are trying to close on a and they are doing quite strong at the current zone. Nifty is at 10,900, so at the current zone, I think it's safe also to take a BTST bet on a stock specific approach. My first call would be on Hero Moto. The stock has seen a good breakout today on the intraday charts, and it has been quite outperforming, and it's also trading above its important averages. It has also breached its important swing high, so at the current zone, it's a buy. Stop loss of 2680 on the lower side for an upside target of 2760.
Manav, yeah, there is no India Bulls here. So Edelweiss as well as Farag Milk Foods, how do they look on the chart?
Looking at the charts formation for Edelweiss, I've already mentioned about Parag Milk. Edelweiss has the support around the previous support was at 120, 125. It has definitely breached that decisively. And looking at the formations also on the short-term time frame, it indicates there has been a stiff, strong selling pressure at the current levels. I don't sense any short-term recovery. Even if it comes into Edelweiss, it could be sustained on the upside. But looking at the medium-term structure, it definitely looks quite weak. On the lower side, in fact, the stock opens the targets on the lower side towards the levels of 1995. So at the current point of view, since it has also breached its important weekly support, one should definitely avoid this stock. Even at the current zone, maybe if it forms a strong support at 80, is around 80 and 90 is the next support zone for Edelweiss on the lower side.
We'll watch out.
But getting in those closing comments from both our technical experts. Manav, let's start off with you first.
The markets have definitely closed on a weak note, and I sense as long as we are trading below 11,000 levels, we will continue to see this selling pressure. The important support, like I've mentioned, is 10,900, and only break below, you could see some sort of more added pressure, which could take this in Nifty towards the levels of 10,700, 800. I sense in the near term, since we are also at the deep oversold levels, it's very difficult to also pinpoint any buying zone. But yes, markets could be choppy at least in the near term, and maybe around 10,700, 800, we could see some sort of a cushioning, at least for the markets on the lower side. So at least in the near term perspective, 11,000 is a very stiff resistance, and unless we don't breach that on the immediate basis, we will continue to see the selling pressure for the near term perspective.
Ruchit, what about you?
And for tomorrow's session, I would recommend keeping a close eye on 10,900 levels, because if we see that is the technical support as well. And on the options data today, we have seen unwinding in the put options. We have seen unwinding in 11,000 put, even 10,950 put option, but 10,900 has not shared its earlier open interest. So I think this is this would be a support for this expiry. In case if we breach this 10,900 mark, then certainly, and if we see unwinding coming in amongst this put option, then I think the correction could get sharper. So 10,900 would be the crucial support level to watch for tomorrow's session, and on the higher side 10,970 to 11,000 would be the resistance range.
Gentlemen, we leave it at that. Thank you so much, both of you, for joining in today and giving us your perspectives. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Well, with that, it's a wrap on this edition.